What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark, and I will be breaking down my Wednesday, May 1st MLB baseball plays as we kick off the month of May. And thank God it's a new month, because last night was one of the worst days I've had betting sports across the board. Luckily, for a couple hockey plays and live bets, we were able to salvage a lot and actually have a kind of desperation Hail Mary parlay, make it a profitable night. But unfortunately, I apologize for the picks that were on the channel. Just a lot of bad beats along the way, and that's something where you can't control every outcome. You can't handicap for overtime. Within the NBA, we had a bad beat within that one, as well as with the a couple of the other NBA games. And in baseball, it was the Indians. I thought they were going to get it done, getting out to a 3-0 lead, and then firing back, and that game going to extra innings. That's unfortunate as well. And there was a couple ones along the way that just didn't get the job done, and I apologize. That's not the standard here on the channel, but we are back and at it, and I will have 5 best bets within the Major League Baseball ranks to share with you guys right here, right now on the channel. So let's get down into it. And first, make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Smash that like button as well, and let's get into the picks, okay? This is where we're going to look at the OddsJam, and we're going to show you guys the best numbers available. If you guys are looking to sign up for OddsJam, check out my link down below in the description. You can get promo code using TBM for 35% off your monthly and or annual plan, whichever you elect to sign up for. But within me and the mobile app and how I bet within different opportunities along the way, it's a very invaluable tool to have in your sports betting repertoire. So that's what we get into. Let's get into the games. The first one up is the Cardinals and Tigers. Okay, we're going to be looking at the likes of Miles Mikolas and Kenta Maeda. This is one where we have made a lot of money betting against both of these pitchers, and they're actually squaring off against one another. 2 and 3, 5.9 ERAs across the board. Maeda is a pitcher that I look to follow. Fade in a lot of instances, as well as Mikolas. Like I said, kind of shocked to see this total. You can find 8s out there. I would lean towards taking the over in this game. Detroit, they can wake up their bats at home and put up a lot of runs, especially a little sneaky early game where they might be coming out strong. I like the over 8 in that game. That's a strong lean. And I do want to tell you guys something. I was watching my video because sometimes I like to go back and see see some of my logic and what I used to make my picks, so that way I can revisit kind of my own. I'm always constantly trying to analyze, right? And one thing I was looking back on, if you go back and watch, and when I say leans, there are things that I'm not going to bet necessarily, but a lot of times the leans sometimes are a very good way to get some winning tickets, right? I think my video yesterday, the baseball picks all skunked, going 0 for 3, but the leans, I think, within a lot of games, if you would have went across the whole entire board, you would have ended up having more wins and losses. So just throwing it out there, keep that in mind. But like I said, I'm only telling you guys what I will be personally betting. All right. Next game up is the Tampa Bay Rays and Brewers. Eflin and Colin Rea. We look at this game. This is a spot where I wouldn't mind getting behind the likes of the Brew Crew. All right, I'm a big fan of Colin Rea, and Eflin, for all accounts, great strikeout pitcher. This is going to be a game where it truly is a coin flip. So if you want to side with the home team at a plus price, you can find plus 112 out there. That's an option, but no official play for me in this one. Okay. Bailey O'Bear and Chris Flexen in the Twins-White Sox game. For those of you that have not caught attention to the fact that the White Sox are kind of rallying, that's what's going on, okay? But I still will not get behind any of these pitchers. The White Sox still have 6 runs, and they're entering that Marlins territory where we bet against them, and a lot of times they do not come home as losers, and they kind of go against the trends. But we look into the game that happened last night. I'm going to try to pull up that stat line because I want to share with you guys something. Okay, so what we saw last night was the Twins were able to come back and winning 6-5. Okay, but the biggest thing to note within what the White Sox are doing is they're actually scoring runs. We can go back on their recent matchups. Okay, we have 5 runs yesterday, 2 runs, 4 runs, 8 runs, 9 runs, 3 runs, and they've had a lot of games against the Twins. This will be the second season series in just the last week or two of April. Okay, so very much familiar. That plays a role into the handicap. I'm going to stay away from this game. I do see the Twins obviously have the edge, but when we look at it, it's not something where I'm looking to get behind even a run line at this point, because the White Sox have kind of bucked that trend of not being able to score runs, at least as of recent times. So no play for me, but I wanted to throw that out there for you guys. Kansas City and the Toronto Blue Jays. We will have an official play in this one. We're going to be taking the likes of Kansas City and the Royals. Okay, I'm backing Seth Lugo. Outstanding start to the season. 4-1, 1.66 ERA. Not a big K guy, full disclosure. But we look into this handicap, okay, in his starts, the teams that are opposing him basically do not score runs. All right, look back at his recent starts. The Royals have blanked the teams, and they've delivered on the offensive side of the ball. And we look at the opposing pitcher, Chris Bassett, 2-4, 5.64 ERA. I'm not vibing with this line. I don't know why we can get the Royals at a plus 120 price. I kind of understand it. On the road, the Blue Jays, by all accounts, they got that more flashy lineup, but I'm going to have to back the Royals here. One of the teams that I've had some success backing within system plays throughout the season thus far. So we're going to take the Royals at a plus 120 price as my first official play for you guys right here on the channel. All right, next one up is the Pirates Athletics. This is one where we've seen the Pirates kind of do a U-turn, all right? And believe it or not, don't blink, the Oakland Athletics are 14-17. Go back to last year, and I think that's something where you look at that, and right here, at least for the first quarter, probably maybe the most improved team. Hard to say. This is still early in the season, only 30 games in. But no play for me. If anything, I would fade the Pirates. They just can't hit the ball right now, and that's where you could get a home team at a plus price, because there's still a little bit of a stigma on the Athletics, and that's something where we're going to look into down the road as well. Okay. And then next, we're going to move into the Atlanta Braves and Seattle Mariners game. This is one where I don't agree with the total, despite being a pitcher's ballpark in T-Mobile Park, right? When we look into this game, I think we can find sevens out there, and that's what we'll be taking. I look for Atlanta to kind of have a little bit of a rebound, where I look for them to score runs in this matchup. Yesterday, that was just such a bad tasting game. I can't believe the Braves dropped that one. And really, I watched kind of the second half of it, and it was just kind of painful to watch because they just horrible at bats, just one after another. But we're going to look at this, and it's kind of a fade on Emerson Hancock. I don't think he's going to go deep in this game. And we're also going to take the Braves money line in this game as kind of a double dip. I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, okay, well, why aren't you taking the run line? Why are you taking the Braves at a minus 166 price? Just very confident the Braves are going to win the game. And so sometimes I like to lay the stake to win your stake, basically, instead of taking one unit. So if it's, minus 166, I'll lay the 166 to win 100 if your unit size is $100. But that's just what I'm doing. I do that from time to time, and basically hammering the Braves in this matchup. Okay, I look for them to get one back, like I said. And then the other thing with the pitching matchups is we can go down the line, and I'll bring up some of the StatMuse numbers. Here it is, guys. Seattle Mariners, the worst batting average against left-handers in the major leagues this season. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. As Chris Sale, nothing to balk at, where we have a 3-1 record, 3.69 ERA, and 33 Ks. So let's take the Braves. I know that kind of doesn't correlate with the over, but do not be surprised if this game ends up being, something along the line of like 6-2, 6-3 Braves. Okay, that's kind of how I'm viewing it. That's my handicap. Maybe wrong. Just sharing what you got with you guys, what I'll be betting for tonight's games. All right, so two plays in that Braves-Mariners game. All right, next one up is the Philadelphia Phillies and Angels. This is one where I do like Zach Wheeler. Despite having 46 strikeouts and a 1.93 ERA, he's 2-3 on the season. Okay, Patrick Sandoval. This is a big fading spot within this. If you want to get frisky along the lines of a little bit of a money line action going on with parlays, do not be scared. Getting into bed with that Braves minus 166 to go alongside the Phillies minus 170. May end up doing that personally. Haven't made my mind up on that, but sometimes I like to do that, and you get a small plus number within those two-team parlays. Just picking straight winners within money lines. I do that from time to time. Again, it's a good way to build bankroll, in my opinion. But as always, a lot of people don't favor parlays, and it's not a good long-term strategy. Okay, next game up is the Reds and Padres. This is something where I really don't have a feel on this. Joe Musgrove is a shell of himself in comparison to last year's numbers, going against Graham Ashcroft. So probably would lean towards the over 8 personally, but no official play for me. The Padres have been kind of struggling to hit the ball as of recent, so that's kind of where we're at within that game. Next one is the Yankees Orioles. This has been a tough handicap for this for this matchup. I think the Orioles won the first 2 games, winning yesterday. I think they won 4-2 in the first game of this series. They won by 2-0, so a little bit of a under move, right? Camden Yards. Who would have thunk it? But that's kind of what we're looking at tonight, too, with Luis Gill and Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns has been fantastic to kick off his 2024 campaign. So really no play for me on this one. Would not surprise me if the Yankees get this one done. I don't bet against Corbin Burns as a rule of thumb, but you can find possibly a plus 143 price out there within the Yankees that presents some value. But no play for me because I don't want to bet against Corbin Burns and the Orioles lineup, okay? So that's kind of where we're at with that one. Rockies, Marlins. This is a game where, like I said, it's another one of those crap-on-crap games. Both of these teams have seven wins on the season. And you look at the pitching matchups. Both of these pitchers have been absolutely getting shellacked. Dakota Hudson, 0-4, 6.57 ERA. But are you going to lay the minus 135 within the Miami Marlins? I'm not, so that's kind of why I'm not betting the game. But I would lean Marlins just sheerly out of the pitching matchup standpoint. Okay, and then we can get into the Giants-Red Sox. This is something where we've seen the Red Sox kind of have a little bit of an advantage in this series. The Giants pitcher, he's yet to be determined. Cutter Crawford on the bump for the Red Sox. Would not be a bad move to get behind that plus 103 price. Taking the Red Sox at home. Little West goes east. What the Giants will do from a pitching standpoint, who they're going to bring out. Will they look to staff this game? That's kind of where I'm at with this in my head. So not opposed to taking even the plus 1.5 at a minus 180 price if you want to get that in a parlay as well. But would lean towards taking Boston plus 103. And then next, we're going to take the Cubs on the money line in the Cubs-Mets game. This is something where we look at a minus 115 price. Shota Umanga, one of the best pitchers in baseball to start off this season. And I know they're on the road. The Mets are decently hitting left-handed pitching, but I just see some value in taking this game. I think that the price is a little bit low. I think it's undervaluing the Cubs, and I look for the Cubs to get it done in this matchup, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking at. So that will be my fourth official play. Okay, and then the last one that we will have an official play on is the Texas Rangers National game. Trevor Williams going against Andrew Heaney. This is not the Andrew Heaney of last year within the Rangers World Series run. But nonetheless, we are going to see some flashes out there. So I am going to get behind the under 9 in this game. I think we look at last night's matchup where we saw the Nationals. I think it was 7-1, so basically being 7-1 out there and still not hitting that 9-run number. So I do look for the Nationals-Rangers game to go under 9, so that'll be my last official play that I'll have for you guys on the board. All right, so we are going to talk about the last 2 games, though. This is where we go into the Guardians and the Astros. Verlander's on the mound, obviously. Great first outing coming back off of injury. Will you go into the Verlander over the strikeouts? Possibly. The Indians hit lefties very, very well. Hit righties very well. A lot of left-handed bats in that lineup going against Tristan McKenzie. After a game yesterday where we saw a lot of firepower, what happens in this one? Time will tell, but I would lean towards taking the Astros. A lot of times when you win that extra innings game, you get a lot of momentum, and it is a really big buzzkill for the traveling team on the road. So would lean towards taking the Astros, not at a price at minus 160, so I'm going to pass, but I would favor some getting into the strikeout markets within Verlander and Tristan McKenzie. Okay, and then the last game up is the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. All right, so another game where they let me down last night, one of my picks. We could zigzag and go back Yamamoto at a minus 132 price on the road. That seems very, very tempting. Going against Jordan Montgomery. This is a weird one, though. Truthfully, when we saw both of these pitchers, I think they've had this matchup actually before. I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me. But we look into this matchup. It's just a weird back and forth, right? I'm using too much logic with my Diamondbacks handicapping. And quite frankly, as well with the Dodgers, I'm waiting for that streak to start where every single day I'm basically betting the Dodgers on the run line. That system has been one that I deployed in seasons past and been very successful. But we are not going to play this game. I would also entertain the Yamamoto, as always. You know me, I take the over 5.5 strikeouts with him. That would be my lean, and the Dodgers to get it done on a straight money line perspective. So that about wraps it up. Those are my official plays. Just a quick recap. This is what we'll be doing. Atlanta with the over 7. Atlanta on the money line. We're going to lay that one a little bit heavy. Kansas City plus 120. Texas, Washington under 9, and the Cubs money line at a minus 115 price. So those are my 5 best bets. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we get it done, cash some tickets, and get that sour taste out of our mouth and get the ball rolling. More sweeps lying ahead. So appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you subscribe down below on your way out, and let me know what you guys will be betting in tonight's contest in the comments. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.